Welcome to histology. Before Lucifer, before the fallen angels, there were far older, more ancient demons lurking in the shadows of the underworld, forgotten by time, whispered of in forbidden grimoires. These entities predate all we know of hell. Who were they? What dark powers did they wield? And why were they cast into oblivion? Tonight, we unveil the most ancient demons of the underworld, beings more terrifying than Lucifer himself. Dare you step into the abyss and discover the origins of true darkness, Tiamat, Mesopotamian mythology. Tiamat is one of the most significant deities in Mesopotamian mythology, often depicted as a primordial goddess of chaos and the sea. She plays a central role in the Babylonian creation myth, the Enuma Elish, where she embodies both the generative and destructive aspects of creation. Over time, Tiamat has been interpreted in various ways. From a cosmic mother figure to a monstrous force of disorder, this essay explores her origins, role in mythology, symbolic significance, and lasting influence. Origins and nature. Tiamat originates from ancient Sumerian and Akkadian traditions and becomes a key figure in Babylonian mythology. She is often associated with primeval waters, embodying the chaotic and undifferentiated state of existence before the cosmos was ordered. In Mesopotamian cosmogony, Tiamat represents the abyss, the source from which all life emerges. She is typically depicted as a vast, serpentine or dragon-like being, sometimes portrayed as an oceanic force or a monstrous hybrid of various creatures. Despite her monstrous image in later texts, early interpretations suggest she was initially more neutral or even benevolent, akin to a mother goddess who gave birth to the first gods. Tiamat in the Enuma Elish. The Enuma Elish, written during the first millennium BCE, is the primary source of Tiamat's mythological narrative, describing creation and the rise of Marduk. According to the text, only two primordial deities existed in the beginning: Apsu, fresh waters, and Tiamat, salt waters. Their union birthed the first generation of gods. As these younger gods grew active, their noise disturbed Apsu, who wished to destroy them. Ea learned of Apsu's intentions, killed him, and usurped his role. Tiamat was eventually provoked by her new consort, Kingu, into gathering an army of chaotic creatures to wage war against the younger gods. Marduk agreed to face Tiamat if he was granted supreme authority upon victory. With winds and a net, he battled Tiamat, trapping her and splitting her body in two. From her remains, Marduk fashioned the cosmos. Her upper half formed the sky, her lower half the earth. Her eyes became the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. Her defeat marked the shift from chaos to order, establishing Marduk's supremacy. Yet Tiamat embodies primordial chaos, the untamed forces of nature, and the destruction preceding creation. Some interpret her as a cosmic ocean figure or symbol of feminine power and resistance, especially in her struggle against patriarchal structures. Others see her portrayal as monstrous as a later political and religious development, tied to Babylon's rise, Marduk's promotion, and shifting ideologies. Across various myths, her story parallels other cosmic battles like Zeus versus Typhon or Hindu gods confronting serpentine beings of chaos. Her influence pervades modern fantasy, literature, and games, and she is examined in feminist and psychological contexts, seen as both creation and destruction. Lilith, Jewish and Mesopotamian mythology. Lilith is an enigmatic figure, appearing in ancient Mesopotamian texts as a night demon, and later in Jewish folklore as Adam's first wife, a rebellious entity defying divine authority. She transitions from feared night spirit to a symbol of female empowerment, reflecting evolving views on gender, independence, and transgression. Lilith's Mesopotamian roots trace back to night demons associated with wind and storms, mentioned in Sumerian, Akkadian, and Babylonian sources. In Sumerian lore, Lilitu spirits roam the night, preying on pregnant women and infants, while in Akkadian texts, references to Lilitu appear alongside male demons, Lilu and Ardat Lili. One notable appearance is in a Sumerian version of the Epic of Gilgamesh, where Lilitu flees a sacred tree and escapes into the wilderness. The Burni relief, often debated, may depict Lilith or another goddess, but supports the image of a nocturnal winged entity tied to danger and the supernatural. In Jewish texts, Lilith is developed further, depicted as Adam's first wife or a mother of demons. Her story appears in the alphabet of Ben Sira. She was formed from the same earth as Adam, demanded equality, and fled when he insisted on dominance. leading to an enduring myth of her harming infants unless protected by amulets. Rabbinic and Kabbalistic works describe her as a seductress and night spirit. The Talmud portrays her with wings and long hair, while the Zohar pairs her with Samuel in an unholy union. Modern interpretations often reclaim Lilith as a feminist icon, celebrating her refusal to submit. She appears in festivals like the Lilith Fair and in modern literature, film, and television. She remains a potent figure embodying independence, transgression, and transformation across varied traditions, from demon to feminist symbol. Pazuzu, Mesopotamian mythology. Pazuzu is infamous for his grotesque appearance and dual nature as both an evil harbinger and a protective spirit. Best known today for The Exorcist, 1973, he actually originated in Sumer, Akkad, Babylonia, and Assyria, where demons were both feared and revered. Pazuzu's iconography features a humanoid body, scaly skin, canine or leonine face, bulging eyes, sharp teeth, large wings, a serpentine tail, and taloned feet. He was linked to the southwest wind, believed to bring famine, drought, and pestilence, yet people invoked him to protect against the demoness Lamashtu. Pazuzu's name appears in incantations, amulets, and statuary. He featured prominently in everyday religious practices to ward off malevolent forces. Known for shielding pregnant women and newborns from Lamashtu's predations, he served in childbirth rituals, highlighting the nuanced view of demons in Mesopotamian thought. His rivalry with Lamashtu demonstrates the concept of using one fearsome being to combat another, a recurring theme in ancient magical practices. Pazuzu's ability to move between living and dead realms made him a powerful intermediary, influencing both physical and spiritual spheres. Modern portrayals often reduce him to an evil possessor, yet historically he symbolized a complex mix of destruction and protection, studied by scholars and occultists alike. Hecate, Greek mythology. Hecate stands as a multifaceted goddess of magic, witchcraft, night, ghosts, and crossroads in Greek belief. She retained favor even after the Olympians took power. Hesiod's Theogony names her as the daughter of Perses and Asteria, granted dominion over heaven, earth, and sea by Zeus. Associated with torches, keys, and dogs, she is often shown in triple form, reflecting her liminal nature across multiple realms, including the underworld. She guides souls, aids Demeter in finding Persephone, and is revered in witchcraft for her links to herbal magic, necromancy, and vengeful power, exemplified by Medea's devotion. Crossroads, especially those with 3 paths, were sacred to Hecate, where offerings known as Hecate's Supper were left, symbolizing her role in fateful decisions. Classical and Roman texts reinforce her status, while Christian-era sources sometimes demonized her. Modern Wicca and neo-paganism celebrate her as a potent occult figure. Ereshkigal, Sumerian mythology. Ereshkigal governs the underworld in Sumerian lore, embodying death, finality, and judgment, contrasting with her sister Inanna's domain of life. She wields absolute power in Kur, ensuring souls cannot leave, as illustrated by myths like Inanna's Descent, where Inanna is judged, killed, and eventually returned through a compromise. Another tale sees Ereshkigal in a dramatic love and power struggle with Nergal, sometimes called Nergal, culminating in joint rule, highlighting the necessity of both destruction and order. While not widely worshipped, she was feared and respected, representing the inescapable realm of the dead, her legends influencing later deities like Persephone and Hel. Azazel, Judeo-Christian demonology. Azazel emerges from Hebrew scriptures and later evolves into a demonic figure, associated with the scapegoat ritual on Yom Kippur. Early references suggest Azazel could be a desolate place or a personification of sin, but apocryphal texts like 1 Enoch depict him as a fallen angel who teaches forbidden arts. Bound in the desert for corrupting humanity, he is further demonized in rabbinic and Kabbalistic literature. Some traditions pair him with other dark forces opposing divine order. In Christian demonology, Azazel is sometimes linked to Satan or seen as foreshadowing the Antichrist. Medieval demonologists rank him among high-level fallen angels. Later occult traditions view him as a teacher of hidden knowledge. Echoing Enochian lore, he remains a symbol of sin, rebellion, and the tension between justice and transgression. Apophis Apep, Egyptian mythology. Apophis, or Apep, is a primordial serpent of chaos who battles Ra nightly, threatening eternal darkness by devouring the sun. Feared rather than worshipped, He embodies Isfet, cosmic disorder. Priests performed rituals to weaken him, ensuring Ra's victory and maintaining balance. Even Set, often chaotic himself, defends Ra by striking down Apophis, highlighting a controlled form of chaos versus total annihilation. Rituals included burning wax effigies of Apophis and reciting spells against him, symbolizing humanity's stand against fear and destruction. Apophis has parallels with the serpent in Eden or Leviathan, reflecting a universal theme of the cosmic struggle between order and chaos. Mot, Canaanite mythology. Mot reigns over death and sterility, opposing Baal, the storm god of fertility, in cyclical myths reflecting agricultural seasons. In texts from Ugarit, Mot devours Baal, causing drought and famine, then is slain or forced to release him, symbolizing the land's rebirth with returning rains. This endless cycle mirrors planting, growth, decay, and renewal, emphasizing the natural forces of life and death, creation and destruction. Though not widely worshipped, Mot was respected and feared, a recognition of the power of death woven into Canaanite religious belief. Angra Mainyu Ahriman, Zoroastrianism. Angra Mainyu is the destructive spirit opposing Ahura Mazda, reflecting the fundamental dualism of good versus evil. Originating in Avestan texts, he symbolizes corruption, darkness, and deception, pitted against the truth and order of Ahura Mazda. Zoroastrian eschatology holds that Angra Mainyu's power is finite, with the final triumph of good ensuring his defeat and the restoration of a purified existence. Through righteous living and devotion to cosmic order, humanity aids in overcoming Angra Mainyu, ushering a world free from suffering and deceit. The ancient demons of the underworld have remained hidden for millennia, their secrets finally unveiled. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos.